picture for a moment that you an astronomer in the year 1862. You just finished building the largest telescope in the world, an instrument so powerful it can detect objects as small as a man's hat at the far end of the Brooklyn Bridge. What would you look for first? Would you scour the skies for new stars, or maybe try to measure the distance to the moon? How about searching for planets around other stars that might be like the Earth? Well, that's exactly what astronomers are doing today, only with much more advanced technology. And they've recently reported some very promising results. The question of whether we alone in the universe is one of the most profound and enduring mysteries of our time. It also happens to be one of the most difficult questions we could ever ask, because even if there are other intelligent civilizations out there, the chances of us meeting them are slim to none. Fortunately, though, we don't actually need to meet an alien to find evidence of life elsewhere in the universe. All we have to do is find the right planet. That sounds easy enough, but it's not like we can just pop over to our nearest star system and take a peek. So instead, astronomers are searching for what's known as an Earth 2.0, a planet outside of our solar system that has roughly the same conditions that are necessary for life as we know it to flourish. To date, they've found plenty of exoplanets, worlds orbiting stars beyond our Sun, but most of these candidates are either too hot or too cold, too big or too small, or otherwise not all that similar to our home. That is, until now. In a paper published in the journal Astronomy and Astrophysics, an international team of researchers presented the discovery of a planet they're calling Wolf-Rayet 1b. And this world is just 30 light-years away in the constellation of Cancer. The star it orbits is a little smaller and cooler than our Sun, and according to the team's calculations, the planet itself is almost exactly the same size as Earth. But perhaps even more exciting, its estimated temperature is a comfortable 23 degrees Celsius, give or take a few. Now, you may be thinking that 30 light-years is still pretty far, and you'd be right. There are more than 100 billion Earth-like planets out there in the Milky Way, but we currently have the technology to study only a tiny fraction of them. In fact, we can only measure the size and temperature of exoplanets by observing the light from their host stars. Specifically, astronomers use a method called the transit method, which involves looking for the dimming of starlight as a planet passes in front of it. But even though studying exoplanets is challenging, scientists are getting better at it all the time. And just last year, another team of researchers reported finding WASP-39b, an exoplanet that's a little smaller than Earth, but resides in the habitable zone of its star system. This means that conditions on the planet's surface could be suitable for liquid water to exist. And given that all life on Earth depends on water, this makes WASP-39b a potentially habitable world. What's more, researchers were able to analyze the atmosphere of WASP-39b using data from the Hubble Space Telescope, and they found found that it has a substantial atmosphere with clouds and maybe even signs of a global wind pattern. Together, these discoveries suggest that we might be on the cusp of finding Earth 2.0. And while finding a planet with Earth-like conditions doesn't necessarily mean we'll find life, it's a necessary first step in answering the age-old question, are we alone? The universe is so vast that if Earth is the only place where life exists, then we are truly alone. But if there are even just a handful of planets out there with conditions suitable for life, then the chances of us being alone start to look a lot less likely. With new telescopes such as the James Webb Space Telescope coming online in the next few years, astronomers will be able to study exoplanets in greater detail than ever before. So the search for Earth 2.0 is just beginning, and who knows what other worlds we'll find along the way. Maybe one of them will be home to an alien civilization that's just waiting to say hello. Thanks for watching this episode of Sea Show Space.